Hey guys, welcome to the High Ground Podcast. I am keeping this intro.
It's necessary.
Yes. It's our brand now.
It's our brand. I'm not going to go into this again. So today we're talking about Blade Runner
2049.
2049,
Yes.
and then the original too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you guys feel about watching the movie, considering we walked in 10 minutes late?
Yeah.
They're 10 minutes late. We didn't miss anything.
We
no.
didn't miss much. We just missed him. Well, we saw him kill the guy
Yeah,
that was
and
that
that's the
initially.
important part. We saw the kill. We know we got all the important things from it, and like I can honestly say we've seen the majority of the movie. We've seen enough to give a
Yeah.
good judgment on,
Mhm.
and I think it was fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Yes, I'm in full agreement there. I don't think I've seen a movie that like topped it this year.
You know, like I'm
This
not
year,
even like a
definitely,
I'm just not a film student, but like I am a big cinephile, and I would say that was like a very pleasing movie, wasn't it? It was like
Holy
I
crap!
don't know what to say. It's like the best.
Yeah,
Like the acting was on point. Like even
Mhm.
though it was very muted, you know,
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, but like that helped create the world. Is like he was in this very bleak world, you know. Even
Yeah.
though like everything around him was animated, you know, he was just staying very, you know.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of the theater, I'm pretty sure all three of us were
Yeah.
like, that is one of the best movies that we've ever
Yeah.
seen.
yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm in full agreement there. I mean, like, I'm gonna talk about the comparisons to the original later.
Mhm.
There were some elements that were missing now that I've seen the original.
But what about that soundtrack too, though?
The soundtrack
Oh
was
my
amazing.
God.
Holy crap!
Peak Zimmerman right
It's-
there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, holy
Like
crap!
I thought all the would get
Yeah.
annoying, but it never
It
did.
never-
it never got old.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that you like really have to see in the theater for
Yeah.
to really get that same experience. Because oh god,
Or at least you gotta turn like high
Holy
enough
shit.
to like make your neighbors hate you.
yeah. Surround sound.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything in particular stand out in terms of like what you liked in the movie?
I like the like. Okay, this is gonna be strange coming from a socialist, but I really like the corporate shit. Like just like it's a corporate dystopian like world, and
Yeah.
it's just like all the branding and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's Coca-Cola. That's product placement right there. That's cool. That would be totally real in a futuristic world.
It's
And
in this
like
world.
it was an interesting it was an interesting take on life in was it Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Los
It's supposed to be
Angeles,
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the original in Los Angeles?
Was
I think
it?
So, yeah.
I think it was yeah.
Yeah,
It was around
the
the same area.
LAPD.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Aaron?
What do you?
Like something in particular with music for you, I guess?
It was the music,
Yeah.
and I just like the world they created. Like
Mhm.
the like I know like just the neon everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it had like a lot of like Asian influence. A lot of weirdly enough, not any Asians.
Yeah,
but
There were a lot of Russians though, which I
Yeah.
appreciate as a Russian.
and that's what we're gonna make when we compare it to the original, because that can actually lead us straight into that.
Mhm.
Now, you guys saw 2049 before the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think that affected? Because they're both like the first one is like you said one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
But like we're millennials and everything.
Right.
We need
Mhm.
those graphics to be on point.
Yeah.
How did the fact that the first one looked like something from the Sci-Fi Channel affect your viewing experience?
I mean, keep in mind that I've seen classic Doctor Who and new Doctor Who,
Okay.
and both of them I love very dearly. So it's like that special effects doesn't really affect me. Alien, for example, like
Yeah.
holy shit,
So
that's
shitty, right?
no. Are you kidding me? That's still like top
Still-
notch.
it still holds
That
up.
I love-
top notch
I
shit.
fucking
dude.
love the movie, but those like the transverse
But like the reactions were genuine.
Yeah, those
and that's
were
what
reactions,
matters because
yeah.
they were like, okay, so you all don't know what the fuck is gonna happen,
Yeah.
and then, and that the reactions was genuine fear, and I love that. But yeah, just back to Blade Runner
Yeah.
2049 because I don't want to get on a tangent. So with Blade Runner 2049, I mean like since I saw it first, I thought I was fine with it. I was just surprised at the usage of like the Russian language. I know you said you saw Japanese a
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
So like I was just surprised with, that's Russian. I can read that. I know what that says.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know. I mean, like, it was a lot because I didn't see those elements in the original movie,
Yeah.
and a lot of things. I mean, like, I like the special effects and
Yeah.
everything, but I think now that I've seen the original, I think I like the original more.
Hmm.
It was, I don't know, it was a more interesting
Like story-wise?
story-wise,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like, I can't agree, but I'm probably spoiled, you know, by the effects. Like, watching the original, it was
Mhm.
kind of hard not to see
Yeah.
the effects.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, I mean, like, thinking about how everyone considers it a sci-fi classic,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard, you know, to think of it the same way as people did in the 80s when it came out.
Because that shit must have looked real.
Yeah,
real.
it
Like,
looks
was
yeah.
amazing, but it's hard now to think about it in that
Mhm.
kind of perspective.
Mhm.
So that kind of threw me off a little, trying to get
Yeah.
over the cheesiness, especially when what's
Fair.
his name, Roy
Yeah.
sticks his head through the wall.
Oh my god, I love that. Are you kidding me?
I was just like, oh, this got to be serious.
What's up, dude?
But,
Sup?
Yeah, that's not the kind of thing that you would see in a movie these days, and
But
you
then
have to appreciate.
you gotta keep in mind
Yeah.
that was also, was it before or after The Shining?
I'm not sure. It had to be after.
'Cause it's like-
It had to be after, like, the whole... you know-
Was it a reference to The Shining?
I don't
Was that
know.
because that would be great if it was.
It was-
It's just this man
No,
sticking
because
his
remember how
head
the
in.
original ending used the footage
yeah,
from the
yeah,
show?
you're right. It was after.
Mm.
And then, but yeah, also just like the acting was just like, this is my reaction, like, as someone who saw them in the order in which they were intended.
Yeah.
Something that I caught in the first one was just like the campiness of it. Like, you remember when Tyrell was explaining the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
implants to Deckard, Deckard was like, implants? Hey, you're talking about memories, aren't you? Like, I know that was a sci-fi classic moment, but that shit would not fly for the
Yeah,
modern
I mean,
audience.
you can definitely see how
Yeah.
Harrison Ford has improved.
Yeah.
Looking at
Yeah.
2049 where he doesn't say that kind of thing
Yeah.
at all.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm going back to the full Asian
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah.
That was really weird because, like, in the original Blade Runner, you know, how they had, how language had evolved into this one
Mhm.
big, like, just amalgamation of all the different languages. It was mainly Chinese, it seemed like. Like, one of the guys who worked on the replicant's eyes was Asian.
Yeah.
Like, he ate in an Asian restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, he was always surrounded by Asian people, and everyone spoke Chinese, apparently, or some form of it. But in this one, like, there was just no Asians. And this movie takes place 30 years afterwards, so
Yeah.
they, like,
Yeah.
all Asians, like,
They left for the colonies.
Maybe.
I was
They
so
all
surprised.
left.
I mean, like, if you look around at the world that they built in 2049, there's Asian languages everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I specifically saw Japanese because I can read Japanese.
Mhm.
Like, the building he lived in had Japanese characters on it. And I
Mhm.
was like, where are all the people
Where are
at?
they at?
yeah,
Where are they at?
elephant in the room.
That was a
They
little
got Ghost in the
interesting.
Shell.
Lol. That was a little interesting, and they did add the Russian element in there.
Yeah, they-
there weren't
I-
any.
I was-
Yeah,
Kind of surprised that the Russian got stuck in there.
yeah. There
'Cause
wasn't any like influence in the original, but
Yeah.
there's definitely in the.
yeah.
That might show like what the filmmakers think about the future.
Yeah,
You
man.
never know. Dennis, I'm looking at you.
How do you feel about the main character being a replicant? Being confirmed as a replicant, I should say.
Well, they said it from the very beginning, didn't they?
Well, they didn't confirm it until like, no, but you know,
He
you
was
already
always-
as soon
he
as
was
you come in, you already know that he's kind of kind of special.
Mm.
Like, that's what it was setting up to be.
He's a Nexus 9, right?
Mm.
Okay, and in the opening paragraph before the film even starts, it said that the older models, this is an issue I had, it said the older models
Mm.
were, you know, destroyed or gotten rid of because they were disobedient. These new ones are supposed to be, you know, supposed to be automatically subservient or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kay could lie just fine.
Yeah, you're not
You're
wrong.
right.
Well, is it lying if it's just not telling the whole truth? Because that's the whole point about AI.
Yeah.
Because like, even in iRobot, I believe that was a big thing where they.
It's always just throwing something else.
Hey man, that's what I do.
I mean,
That's
I'm
what I
pretty
do.
sure the reason why they were more subservient to humans is that the implanted memories
Yeah.
were like stronger,
Mhm.
technology was better at making them implanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why they were way more inclined to do that. And maybe since he started to question his memories,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
that might be why he like. Kinda,
Yeah.
awakened.
I thought that was like really weird though, because like that was the purpose of their creation, was being obedient. Like that was why Blade Runners are made to kill the old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And then they like increase their lifespan too, which is also like questionable. Like, why are you gonna if you are scared of them becoming, you know, like sentient
Yeah.
and doing what they want, why are you gonna increase their lifespans?
I think that was the whole thing with Neander Wallace though,
yeah,
because
But
he was.
why?
Because I don't even know what his goals were.
It wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
That might be one of the.
I think he was
key
just
trappers.
trying to.
They have
I think
to-
he was just trying to like, well, no, not. But like the reason that they went for the longer lifespan
Yeah.
is because since these are subservient like basically they're subservient and
Yeah.
everything, they can use them as like sex slaves and shit.
Oh my God.
That's. I feel like that's the way they were going with that, or like, you know, like. Because there was no, I mean like because I'm saying like it's just a kind of like a he's a scummy guy, but like also I was thinking more along the lines of like just you know if you want to kind of like the Dollhouse element to it if you well I don't think either of you have seen Dollhouse, but like the way Dollhouse works is there are actual people and you can implant memories into them and like make them become whoever you want them to be for like a day or two if you pay enough money. And so like I feel like that's kind of the same concept but for life.
For life.
You know like just buy love.
But I mean, why would you make
Yeah,
it
it's
for
kind of a-
life then?
Because that's what you're buying. That's what you're paying for.
So it's like you buy a spouse. Is
Basically.
that okay?
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
and
Yeah.
then I guess the
Because that's I think that was like also the replacement to like because the artificial
hologram.
the hologram thing.
I mean, I get that,
Yeah.
but I think if we're going into like the goals of what's that?
No, it's not his goals.
Neither
It
was-
was just that was the business.
Can I just say
proposition.
that Neander Wallace is like the biggest weirdo on the planet, and like
Is he blind?
I don't know. I think
I
he's
think
just
he was supposed to be blind
Okay.
because that's why he had those little clicking.
What are his goals?
robots.
Like that it almost seems like there has to be a sequel because like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
because
don't want
we
that.
I
have
really
no-
don't like this is a movie. This is so good. Like you just stand alone. That's the one thing I hate about like this
I
generation.
think I think his so like the beginning paragraph said he took over from Tyrell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made a new line of
Nexus Nines.
yeah. I think that is like normally under common sense you wouldn't do that if the reason why Tyrell fell was because of like
Nexus.
the Nexus
Nexus
6 rays
yeah.
rising up.
Yeah.
I think his goal was like evolution. His
Mhm.
goal was to see like the next, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a daughter or a son of a replicant, a human. I think he wanted to see that, but
Mm.
his like intentions are unknown.
Yeah.
You know, because in the scene where he like disembowels.
Yeah. Holy
I
I
shit.
think
was-
I don't think that was the purpose of it. I think that was just to show you that
He's crazy.
he's this guy who can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It might have been, but I was trying to get something from
Or
this.
could just be Jared
Exactly, it's
Leto
just
being
weird,
Jared
yeah.
Leto.
Otherwise,
I
he's
think
just a
that was
weirdo.
very just Jared Leto.
Yeah. It's just Jared Leto being Jared
Yeah,
Leto.
man, that wasn't even.
I want him to have some purpose because this movie is so good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want there to be some meaning that
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
read in some online theories. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
I think he just I don't know.
I don't want him to just be weird.
He wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted Harrison Ford or he wanted the daughter
He wanted, the
or
offspring.
the
Yeah.
offspring. Yeah.
I think that's why I said it might have been
Yeah.
like some evolution kind of thing. He wanted to
Yeah.
see what's next.
that's another thing that fucking gets me. First of all, we can have a
We're
whole.
we're in official spoiler territory
Yeah.
by the way because I already
We have
mentioned.
Yeah.
I already mentioned the daughter
We can
and like
have-
we've been talking. I just never announced it.
We can have a whole debate about whether Deckard was a replicant
Oh,
or
man.
human. That has
Yeah.
been done to death. You know, the writer of the original book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Yeah.
Mm.
He said he thinks that Deckard is a human.
Mhm.
Ridley Scott, the director of the original,
Yep.
said he thinks Deckard is a replicant. Harrison Ford said he thinks Deckard was a replicant also.
Mhm.
But it's like, between all these people,
Yeah.
you're the creator. You should definitely know what the fuck he
Yeah.
is. But I guess that contributes to the whole like mystery or whatever.
Yeah.
What's kept the movie alive for all these years.
Mhm.
But so we're just gonna settle on Deckard is
Well, he didn't have a 4-year lifespan.
we don't. Yeah,
You could say. I mean, the argument against that is that he was like some prototype.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah. But then Tyrell would know about it.
who knows what Toro done? He kept the truth from Rachel.
True.
Like, yeah, but then why would the unicorn scene be in the original?
Exactly.
See,
Yeah.
that's why
That's
it
pretty, he
throws
pretty
me
much
off
definitely.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was definitely.
No,
There's
but
a lot of-
I don't think because he ages in a different way.
Yeah, he does.
And why would his offspring be special?
He's a new type. She'd be, because even if he is human, she'd still be. Her mother is confirmed as a replicant. That's what makes her special.
Mhm.
And
But
like,
it would be even more of a big deal if both of them were replicants.
that's not like. But
Mm.
my original question is that I understand evolution,
Mhm.
but how the fuck? like they gotta justify that somehow because like.
Mm.
I mean, that's a big mystery. That's what Wallace wants to know.
Yeah.
I love Mr.
Like,
Wallace.
Oh my god, like sex bots. You can't you can't get them pregnant. But I don't know. That's what kind of got me about what just understanding what replicants were. Because
Mhm.
even though they're pretty much stated as like androids, they have to be some kind of clones or something, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's no way they can create all of that genetic material from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And like Rachel's
They, like,
bones.
Yeah, they like bleed.
Yeah, Rachel had like bones and
Yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
so like that's one thing. Like let's say the replicants are some clone android cyborg hybrids. They have to be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I just don't get the. I guess that's not for what we're supposed to be asking. We're supposed
Yeah,
to be
there's not
asking
much-
questions
yeah.
about like what is the meaning of a soul, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what they were that's what they were trying to pose.
Yeah, man.
I feel like
Mhm.
do replicants feel and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
They do. That was confirmed in the original. Roy Batty felt, and that's what made him want to put his head through a wall. All his friends are dead.
Yeah.
Like,
True. Yeah. No, you're right.
If all your friends just died, wouldn't you do some off the wall shit? Like, like
Oh.
Oh man.
I just keep thinking back to that movie and how much that man looks like Blaine the Beers from
folks.
iZombie. What's the actor's
iZombie,
name?
a show that is I think is underrated. A show on CW. You should definitely check it out if you ever get the chance. You know, you will. We don't even have to show you a picture.
David
of,
Andrews.
We don't have to show you a picture of the guy. You don't even have to look him up or anything.
No, I just
you
wanted to know the actor's name.
iZombie, and you'll be like, that is Roy Batty's younger brother.
Yeah, or like his son or
Yeah.
something. Like, holy crap. No, I saw that and I was like, huh. I pointed it out as soon as I saw him pop up on screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
he looks like Blaine the Beers.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he does.
do
He
you
does.
guys have a favorite scene in
Favorite scene?
2049?
I like that sex scene. Not just because it was sex. Not because it was sex. I'm not. But
This man's
because
talking. He's referencing
no,
the holographic threesome.
Yes, man. The holographic.
Oh, the
threesome.
holographic.
I thought that was just like the meaning behind it. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
trying
I
to
could-
connect.
I could do that.
Two
Yeah.
robots trying to connect. You know.
Having to use a human
Yeah.
to connect.
And let me say another thing. His girlfriend, Joy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought it would
Jerk off
be
instruction?
in the same line as you guys seen. What was it? Her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
even though like
Also one of my favorite
Joaquin Phoenix's character
Yeah.
wasn't laughable.
Uh-huh.
Like I thought it was gonna be straight up just fucking
Yeah.
laughing my ass off the whole time. Even though it wasn't laughable,
Mm-hmm.
it was fucking pathetic. like,
Her was one of my favorite movies.
like he was so pathetic. And I thought it was gonna be the same type of thing with this.
Mhm.
But like they gave, I don't know. I guess maybe the fact that they're both artificial made it a little bit less weird. I still thought he was kind of a weirdo for like
Mm.
but I mean they're both robots. Let robots do what robots
I mean,
do.
the way that they portrayed her
Mm.
almost made her seem more human than him.
Yeah.
You know, because
I thought so.
because I don't know, she's definitely programmed.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't have a job to hunt other programs.
Yeah.
Probably gives her a little more of a humanizing capability
Yeah.
than Kay, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, she was just engineered to be like the perfect service bot.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely sense like some realism in her character. Like, she even named him Joe. Like,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gave him his name, his
Yeah.
human name.
Mhm.
and like, but the second like he took her like chip or whatever, and put it in
Yeah.
the middle cube,
Yeah.
We knew
and
she
then
was dead.
he was like, if anything happens to the stick, he'll be gone forever. She's like, just like a real girl. Like I fucking knew she was gonna
Pinocchio.
die. I was bracing myself emotionally for it because I knew she was gonna fucking die, and I hated it. But
Mm.
Yeah.
then that bitch Love had Kay is reaching out for her emitter, trying to save her, and she just stepped on it for no reason.
Yeah, she didn't have to.
She
really
really
didn't have to.
Just
I
a
like
sh-
that. I like
just a
that character.
bitch.
Man. I like that character.
You like
But-
Love?
No, because what, is that her name?
Yeah,
Love.
I believe that was her name. I googled it a
Love.
while ago. Yeah,
Oh wow.
confirm me.
But she
Confirm me.
I will.
You-
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is Love. Wow.
Yeah.
L-U-V Love.
Love.
Come on, Jared Leto. Come on.
Only Jared
I
Leto.
thought.
I know, like it's very. You just want to call him Jared Leto, but let's Neander Wallace. That's like Beyonce. Have you ever seen Beyonce act in anything
Yeah.
or her voice in anything?
Yeah.
It is so horrible. It is so tragic because like. You're very aware that it's Beyonce at all fucking times, and that's how Jared Leto is becoming.
Kind of like Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like it's like it just hits you over the head, like when the little fairy is like, "You have to save them." Like whatever, that's obscure. Let's stop. Like,
No, I get you. Yeah, but I thought she kind of represented what at least maybe in Wallace,
Yeah.
not Jared Leto.
yeah,
Wallace's mind is what the perfect replicant is supposed to be,
like
as far as they can go.
manipulative,
As no, as
evil.
They follow everything because they follow everything that you tell them to do.
You know?
Like he told her she was his favorite. I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she did everything to the best of her ability that he wanted to be done, even if it was bad and manipulative. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
at least to him, I think that's what the perfect replicant was.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know.
How about when she killed Robin Penwright? You know?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was that whole glass crushing thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
As soon as
I couldn't. I, was
I
so
saw that,
bad,
and I've
dude.
I watched the entire scene, but I was wincing the entire time. I was
'cause
like,
they kept showing it, and I was.
Yeah,
I just
hated
no,
that.
they didn't show any of it. They just showed
yeah.
it was just the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound is what got me because I was like looking at it and then just kept crunching and I'm like,
Yes.
Such a
Yeah,
good
how
deal.
about-
She's a human.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like how about like she picked up her head for
Yeah.
just like to
Yeah.
use it.
And then she just
And
dropped
she
it and
dropped
hit,
it.
hit the desk on the way
Yeah.
down. That's what got me. I
That's
was
why I was
like,
like,
oh.
Jesus Christ, that is so
There is
disrespectful.
no regard for
Exactly,
life
like-
at all. But I don't know. I kind of liked it. That was
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. I like how brutal it was. The fact I thought it was weird that like, you know, it's the androids or replicants' lives who aren't supposed to mean anything, but like in that situation, I
It's a
guess she like
human life, yeah.
she switched it around, like
Yeah.
she changed that up.
Mm.
So like,
She would have been on Roy Batty's Death Squad.
Yeah, man,
She would have
definitely.
done a lot of work.
Yeah.
I oh,
Oh, yeah. But like it came full circle though, cause like Roy Batty, like he was like sad. Like he had a point. Like you remember like the one of the best like
Tears in the
monologues
Rain.
ever, "Tears in the Rain."
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Like and then when he saved Deckard, another argument for that. Is
Yeah.
yeah, that's another interesting point out to me. I'm just coming. I don't even know. I'm just gonna get him out of the way as I think of him.
Okay,
But-
yeah, that's fine.
There's another theory that the reason Roy Batty saved Deckard was because he was a replicant also. Because the whole time Roy had absolutely no problem killing any humans. Even though that sad looking guy, the guy was like 23 but looked like he was 60,
Yeah.
old as shit.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi?
Lawrence was his name?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know you.
He slaughtered him. It was off screen, but he probably
Yeah.
Gregor gained him just like fucking yeah.
J.F. Sebastian.
Yeah, J.F.
That's his
Sebastian.
name.
That was the most pitiable
Steve
character.
Buscemi.
Yeah, that was the most pitiable character in almost any
Yeah.
movie I've seen.
Yeah.
And Roy Batty just
Yeah.
I don't even know what he did.
I
to
really
him.
It
felt
was
bad
off
for the
screen.
guy.
Yeah, he probably
Yeah.
just snapped his
Yeah.
neck, drunk his blood. I don't fucking know what he did.
Drunk as
Yeah.
blood.
But the reason he saved Deckard, because his whole goal was to save replicants.
Mhm.
Mm.
Save the fellow replicant.
Could be.
But where was I before I got on this?
It came full circle. Roy Batty something.
Came full circle. Oh, how Roy Batty was at least in that very end, he became a sympathetic character.
Mm.
I hated Love the entire time. So,
Mm.
They did not give her a sympathetic death. She went out fighting.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was so satisfying, wasn't it? When you just getting fucking.
Dude, that was one of the longest, like,
Yeah.
like prolonged death scenes.
That's another
choke
thing.
scenes. I was just like,
Do replicants breathe if they can get choked?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like yeah. I feel like they definitely do
Yeah.
because
So then-
he also almost died.
And she was being drowned too.
She was being drowned,
Yeah.
So
but it could be just water getting into the
Like,
lungs
dude,
and just
but like-
fucking up the
But
electronics.
why do
too.
robots have lungs?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like getting in and fucking
Oh,
up
yeah.
with the electronics too. But like
Mm.
also,
You can't make them water for that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like they breathe.
Like-
I don't know if they're. I don't know. I legit. There's not much that's been.
But again, like I
revealed.
said, the whole point is for us to see the parallels between robots and humans. So
Yeah.
I guess they have to give them a lot of human aspects to make
Mhm.
to make that more.
Yeah. But my favorite scene by far in the entire movie was the confrontation between him and Harrison Ford. First in the movie theater, and then afterwards when they're drinking.
Oh, no.
But in the movie theater, just Elvis playing in the background, and then just this man just
That
trying
was-
to shoot.
That was some mood right there. That was some mood.
I really like that. How
Yeah.
that was set in Vegas. I think it was supposed to be Vegas.
It was Vegas. It was
Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
left of Vegas?
I wonder what Harrison I'm saying Harrison Ford. I wonder what Deckard has been
Deckard.
doing all these years though.
Oh, he's probably chilled there
He's
after
been drinking.
after
That's sad.
Yeah, it is
after
sad.
she died. He just kind of like probably just
He
left.
lost his baby.
Yeah.
Left his baby. It's just
Yeah.
That's
sad.
so sad. That's
sad
sad.
drinking.
Yeah.
Waiting
Yeah.
for someone to walk through the door so you just unload him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hate to think he's just in there, just being a hermit the whole time. He
Yeah.
had to be doing
Yeah.
something.
He has a dog.
Hanging out with Stapper.
He got the dog though.
Yeah, dude.
And what was he doing before he got dragged back into LAPD in the original? He was just
Hmm.
eating noodles on the street, right?
Yeah.
He is a replicant who was fabricated weeks before that.
Weeks
I
before.
Or days before that even. And all those good old times they were reminiscing on, I think that was just something that the LAPD guy was in on. So,
Oh.
I for one, I
Possibly.
definitely think Deckard
Oh,
is
okay,
some
I
kind
can
of
I can
replicant.
see that. I can see that because he's like you're the best one on the force,
Yeah,
and
he
then
just
all
blowing
this.
smoke up his ass.
So he could have been like, we literally programmed you to be the best. Go do your
Yeah.
fucking job.
And then
I can see that.
What's his name? Gaff.
Yeah.
Was it?
And plus,
Mm.
He was
just
trying to
how
get him to
awkward,
sign.
yeah, just how awkward Deckard was. Like that's in my mind the entire time I was watching it. I was like, that is how an android trying to imitate human life would
I
act.
mean, when I watched it, I was just like,
Mhm.
this is younger Harrison Ford.
But
I mean,
he is still
he
awkward.
Yeah.
he was younger in Star Wars. And
Yeah,
he was
but-
he was fine in Star Wars. Let's be
He
honest.
wasn't a serious character,
Yeah.
so he was more.
And that's something else I can appreciate in reference to the new movie is that Kay was
Mm.
cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, hey, let me buy you a drink, dog. God, no. Like, that isn't cool either. But
Mm.
he was, even though he wasn't all, like, charismatic necessarily, he was cool, understated,
Mhm.
Yeah. But like, for real, I just really love the scene where Kay is trying to figure it out. He's like, "Are you my dad? Are you my dad?"
Yeah.
And then like you find out he's like the whole big reveal is that he's literally just a replicant with memories. And then he's like, but that entire fucking scene was just like, I'm trying to figure it out. Are you really my dad? And then it's like, yeah, it sounds like it. It's like that they had to build it up so much.
Dude.
It's like, yep.
I
The
know it
animals
was
on
like,
the
yeah.
table too.
I know it was entirely too obvious for him to, in retrospect, I know
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
entirely
no.
too obvious.
Well, like
That it was
I
definitely
wasn't.
going to be some bait and switch there.
Yeah.
I was so excited for that moment where he's like, Dad, you're my dad. And
Yeah.
they just hugged it out. I was so excited for that movie. I was really let down when he turned
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Like,
I
when,
liked it.
like,
I liked it.
like when that android came to him and revealed to him that it was a girl,
Yeah.
he was like, what? Do you think it was you? I felt like she was talking to me.
Yeah.
I did think it
I
was
was,
him.
everyone thought, like, I was just like, what?
the entire movie theater was like,
Yeah,
What?
Like that goes into my favorite scene, which
Oh.
was the creating memories scene.
oh yeah.
With
I was
the-
gonna say that,
the
but I
actual-
figured you would.
The actual daughter of Deckard,
Yeah.
but like, huge spoiler there. But
We've already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we're so
the
deep.
actual daughter of Deckard, and like the way that she was just creating the memories and her reasons for being in there, you
Mhm.
know, for
Yeah.
all her life, just being in there creating memories. I was just like, wow, that's so cool.
Is she good at creating memories because she's half robot and has like super fast
That's
processors?
Yeah, that's
Like,
possible.
Maybe
That's-
she has like the human emotional
Yeah,
kind of capabilities there.
because she was for sure crying, like hella crying
Yeah.
at that one scene where she was remembering her own memories
Yeah.
in that orphanage.
Yeah, like when she was creating the birthday party,
Mm.
that was just so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was basically just watching a Photoshop tutorial.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so cool to just do on this little machine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She looks super easy in the future. I hope that's around
just
the
make
corner.
some memories there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to forget something?
yeah. That was
that
just,
can be arranged.
It was just very sad though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That she had no concept of who she was.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, that was her life.
like
for,
she lives in that bubble and everything.
Man.
Like, why does she live in that bubble? Is there like some defect that comes from being half robot, half human?
I think it was to protect her. No.
Yeah, I think it was just they came up with some excuse just to get her in
It didn't say that she had
sequestered.
like a compromised immune system or something.
Yeah, that was her reason.
That was the reason.
Maybe she doesn't. I feel like they just did it on purpose to protect her from anyone who would
Mhm.
figure out who she is.
Well, even
Yeah.
though I don't think being half robot, half human
Yeah.
makes you entirely biologically feasible being,
Mhm.
I will say that your reasoning does make sense also.
Yeah.
She could be like a Terminator, you know?
Who
She
knows?
would be a
Yeah,
Terminator.
she would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of like. I feel like we're definitely getting a sequel because they were setting up this whole like robot uprising,
Yeah,
and then like, and
Neanderthals.
Wallace.
Really
Yeah, I was
weird,
about to say Jared
like
Leto
that
again.
scene, those monologues that seem like they gotta be
They were
so
setting up
deep
something.
in, but are actually just him just rambling about stuff.
Yeah, especially since like Deckard meets up with her at the end.
Yeah.
It's gotta mean something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I want them to leave it open ended.
Also-
Yeah, like so that's some of the greatest cinematic masterpieces have just been left open.
Yeah. So
Like
is
the
Kate dead?
original.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. We gotta get a process for this.
So is Kay dead?
Yeah, is Kate dead?
Kay's dead. I hate it, but Kay's dead.
Yeah.
He's
But,
so
like,
cool though.
He's so cool, but I feel like if they would have left him alive, that would have just been an opportunity for him to be ruined.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
you're right.
It's
Yeah.
just getting another hologram.
Yeah.
Like John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a very fulfilling end for him too. Though.
That was.
So I'm cool with
He
that.
felt.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He was fulfilled.
Yeah.
He did everything he needed to do.
He got over joy though, because you remember when he was.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
She died, but and then you saw when like the big hologram of her like
Mhm.
touches him. I think at that moment he pretty much realized that she was just.
Yeah. I don't know though.
He's just grasping at feelings that he was never programmed to have.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
That's almost brings a tear to my eye.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
He is a goddamn robot.
It was hard to tell he was a robot though.
It was.
Yeah.
I kept forgetting.
Yeah. Especially since,
Same.
you know, when he failed the baseline test,
Yeah.
I was like, he's not a replicant.
Yeah.
He's real.
That's how they test you to see if you have any emotions, I guess,
Mhm.
or you
Mhm.
sign any tones of rebellion. In the beginning, what was the purpose of it in the original movie?
Mm.
That even where he
the
was
test,
testing,
right?
yeah. What was the purpose of it in the first movie? They could obviously tell who was the replicant. I guess it was to see how far replicants had come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
And then, like, Deckard uses it on Rachel to see if she knows she's a replicant.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is that what it is?
No, he was trying to see how convincing of. I guess because there is at some point at which you don't know who's a human and who's a replicant,
Yeah.
and like Tyrell came in and said, like, something like it took him over 100 questions to figure out for sure she was a
Yeah.
replicant.
It's like a new record.
But like, if you already know there is a replicant, what was the purpose of giving them? I guess in this, it's more to test. To see,
Because,
are they gonna rebel soon or are they
Deckard
becoming
didn't
too
know.
human?
Deckard didn't know that she was a replicant.
Yeah, I'm
until
talking about
after-
this.
Yeah.
In this
Tyrell wanted to
2049,
test it.
2049.
Oh, in 2049? Okay.
because they knew Kay was a replicant. I guess it was to see if they were becoming like too human or showing too
Yeah.
much chaos.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I think it was more. They showed they wanted to have like because they implanted fake memories, but like they weren't trying to get them to exhibit human responses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
that was
trying to
their
make
goal.
sure
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
these cold machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think they call it the baseline test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have to meet that baseline. If they go too high, too low,
Yeah.
then they're not a replicant or not exhibiting signs of a replicant.
Yeah. That's why. Oof. That scene.
You got me, man.
There's something I had.
Was
Am I a replicant?
You might be. I have news for you.
No, it's gone. It's gone. It was about like, you know how he asked Rachel like over 100 questions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's gone.
Yeah.
All right. We had a little interruption there. So I guess this is like the wind down.
Yeah. You guys are still with us in the early days, so you
Yeah.
know, we don't have like a studio.
Yeah, no, there's no official office.
Yeah.
We've been using a different room.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta reveal the entire life story of this podcast at
Yeah.
some point, at least.
When we look back, it'll be like,
There's gonna be a vlog that going up soon. No, I'm
Oh.
joking. But yeah.
Do you have some interesting takeaways from
Hmm.
the movie at all?
I mean,
Interesting parts.
I feel like we've gone into
just like
it as in depth as we could have gone. I mean, like, still to this day, I mean, like, I'm not gonna forget this movie for a while.
the acting, the philosophical side,
Yeah.
the music, everything was just. Even the plot was good too. So
Yeah. There
It
was
was like- it was-
nothing that
yeah.
wasn't bad.
yeah, it's just a consummately good movie. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
How long was it?
two and a half, maybe?
Yeah, 2 hours and 43 minutes.
That's a
I'm
long
looking at the right
runtime
runtime
for-
right
that's a long
now.
runtime for a movie, but I did not feel any of that. I just was like so
Yeah.
engrossed in
Yeah.
it.
I thought no. I checked the time at one point. And I'm like, wait, holy crap, it's 12 already.
Yeah.
Because we watched it at 10. Wait, we got in at 10:15,
Yeah,
10:20.
when it was ending, I was like, it's ending?
Yeah, I was like, this is the wind down. Oh, and then I realized that I've sat there for like over 2 hours, and I'm like, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel it at all,
Definitely.
which is kind of surprising, you know.
I think, like, it might be too early to call it, but like, as far as our generation goes, and for our generation,
Mhm.
you know how like the original is considered a classic. You know,
Yeah.
like the Alien, Blade Runner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator. Those are like the golden sci-fi movies that age. I think this is a golden sci-fi movie of our age. Like,
Same.
Yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
Along with, would you rank it with Interstellar?
I haven't seen all of Interstellar.
Yes.
Yes.
You would?
Because Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. You know, the soundtrack's got the same thing going.
Yeah, it's, I mean, hey, Hans Zimmer,
Yeah,
he's
right.
got it. He's got
and
it.
Like,
Yeah.
And like as I was watching it, I felt the same way as I did watching Interstellar, where like I was like, I'm not gonna forget this, and this is so good.
I'm so glad we saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, quick question. After John Williams passes off, you know, like
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer for this Star Wars soundtracks. Rip, like
Oh, I don't know about that. Cause
I don't
You mean
know.
like Star Wars like 15? Like
'Cause Zimmer-
Yeah.
12.
Because he created a perfect dystopian Earth in this, but I think you need something more whimsical for Star Wars. Not campy, but just more whimsical.
Yeah.
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 I guess so. Yeah, I can see that. But like, if we were thinking about like, you know, possibly replacing. I mean, there's always gonna be like
Just
the
daily-
very nostalgic like
I think they would.
themes that you
anyway.
can throw it. Yeah,
When you think about composers for movies, who do you think of usually?
John Williams and Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Literally the only two.
Exactly.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Actually, I think he might work
He does
really well.
that
Yeah.
kind of music. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he would work really well for Star Wars, honestly.
I guess in my head, I'm just seeing like Rey just walking into this dark Sith cathedral.
And you just hear,
lightsaber
"Whoa."
like, that's all I can see.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all-
I
I'm sort of
know. I
thinking
can see that now. I can see it. Oh no.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but you know it's gonna be something like that.
Yeah.
There's gonna be at least one scene.
I mean, as far as I had, like, one interesting thing from 2049 for me was the lighting
Yeah.
of all of the places in the movie. Like Wallace's place, I think. You know, it was mostly dark. And
Yeah.
the lighting was always changing because they had like water, they had things moving around.
Yeah.
For me, at least from like a filmmaking perspective, I loved that so
Yeah.
much because
Yeah.
it was never static. It kept changing.
Mhm.
The whole Las Vegas place was like orange.
Yeah.
Asphalt dust. And,
Yeah.
and then the only
Post Trump. I'm sorry, I had to make the joke.
But like the only bright place, if I can remember, is like the memory place where
Yeah.
the daughter's
Mhm.
living,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the place where Rachel died. Like those kind of more like human-ish places, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
It's all
No,
over.
I
The
guess.
lighting, I like it never took you out of like that grimy kind
Yeah,
of, except
yeah.
for a few instances, but yeah, it was very.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt because I think
Running low
We're
here.
we're running low on time here a little bit. So
One of our short episodes with a cast of 3.
yeah, which has been a nice, refreshing take on
Yeah.
the podcast. I like this. I think we
Short
talk a lot more constantly, and it's like a lot of
Yeah, it's
everyone is more. It's more even.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
good for the this kind of
Yeah.
review of a movie.
True.
You
Yeah,
care
don't
what
have to
I
go
say?
that
You care what Jesse has to say? You care what Roman has to say?
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to go too in depth.
Yeah. So we want to go into official letter grades from each of us.
Let's go, start me. You're looking at me. I want to go.
Okay. I mean, I'm just looking out of
Okay,
curiosity.
okay,
I'm just looking anywhere.
Maybe I'm still riding off like the initial high. of
We
the
saw it a
movie.
week ago.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe my opinion will chill down over time.
Mhm.
But I think it was a solid A. Maybe an A plus.
But my question
Maybe
for
an A+.
you is, how does that? We should compare it to how we think the original is, maybe.
Mm.
Grade the original.
Okay.
The original, despite,
Yeah.
you have to take in the time it was made in,
Mhm.
and, I guess the cinematic practices of that
Yeah.
time, like, Deckard's acting wasn't so horrible for, like, the 80s.
Yeah, true. No, you're right. Yeah.
So, I think, and just being, like, just the effect that it's had culturally, the fact that people are still talking about it, that
Definitely,
it
yeah.
warranted. That's another, before we get into the letter grades, just thought of it.
Oh my
That
god.
movie is still considered a
We've
box
got the bell
office
coming.
flop.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people are just like, I guess the reason I think that is because it's not as fast paced as people would think.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
A movie about something called a Blade Runner would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And they come out with just like, what?
I mean, I like the fact that there were very few fight scenes.
yeah.
There were like 2 or 3, one towards the end, kind of like a few, like one at the beginning. There were like a few sprinkled in between, but it was more just the psychology.
But it still
Yeah.
felt exciting.
Yeah, it
Didn't
still
need
felt
the
no.
action
You didn't.
scenes.
You didn't need action.
Yeah.
I don't think today's audience was patient enough to get that.
To handle it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
going back to the letter, I told you guys I would kind of just say shit as came to my head,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I warned
No, you're
you.
fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Letter grade, I'm feeling A, maybe even A plus because
Mm-hmm.
Was that for the original or for that?
Blade
no
Runner.
A
2049.
A for
A
maybe
for
plus for the 2049.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
For the original, I'd still say that one holds a strong A.
Gotcha.
Mm. I'd actually go. No, I for sure went A plus because, I mean, I'm not trying to think in the same vein, but I gave it an A.
Yeah.
I think this ranks just slightly above
Yeah.
it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Finn Wolfhard. Love you, but A plus for Blade Runner. But the original, I'd have to give. Yeah, I'd also have to give either an A or an A minus, maybe.
Yeah.
A minus for campiness.
Yeah.
The campiness kind of detracts from it, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit, but not that much. It's still amazing.
Yes.
Okay, for me, I would say the original is an A plus. You know, I can't deny the
Mm-hmm.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right,
cinematic,
yeah.
All the things it did for cinema in terms of sci-fi
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all of that, and the vision that it had. Really,
Yeah.
it's way ahead of its time. Really sad that it turned out that way.
Yeah.
You know, but and then the sequel, 2049, I'd have to give it an S, man.
S,
because
S
it
rank.
S for sequel.
As for sequel, no, no,
like,
it's not.
like I think it did everything that a sequel should do,
Yeah.
which is build
Mm.
on the original without relying on the original.
Yeah.
Because it definitely didn't rely on the original for everything and like throw in Deckard and make him the main part of
Yeah.
the
True.
story.
True.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I really like that you threw up our entire grading system like on its
Yeah.
feet. We were like, hey, letter grades only. Hey, you're still counting it as a letter grade, but like I'm talking.
He didn't break the
college.
rules.
He didn't break the rules. Yeah, I know.
Personally.
Holy crap!
personally,
X-Men
it's
is gonna
an
get an X. I can see it now. He's gonna fuck with us. He's found a way to break the rules.
But that was an amazing movie, and I suggest everyone watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both movies.
Yeah.
Both.
Watch
Oh,
both
for sure.
movies.
Watch both.
But definitely support 2049 while still in theaters.
Yes,
We need
yes,
to let the
yeah.
filmmakers know.
Watch
This
it,
is-
appreciate
please.
This is it.
I'm looking at
This
you.
is what you need to make more
I'm
of.
looking at you.
Yeah.
This is for the video watchers. I'm looking at you. You watch it.
Yes.
Watch that shit. I wish I could do a zoom from here. Zoom into my face if you want to. Watch this goddamn movie.
Yes.
please. It
Yeah.
needs the love.
Yeah.
And now we're officially on the wind down. Thank you guys. Or did you? Yeah, you. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I
we
did my
good?
bit.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
did his bit. You did his bit.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We do have a YouTube page. You can actually find it by searching for High Ground Cast. Twitter at High Ground Cast, and please leave iTunes reviews. We really appreciate when you do. None of you have so far, but hey, we'll appreciate it when you do. We'll read it on the podcast. Please give us some reviews.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't have to be 5 stars or 4 stars. It could be
All right, we're
a
getting
1 star.
desperate.
I'll still read it. I'll still listen to your criticisms. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for
It's
watching.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into the video portion if you're watching the video portion. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next podcast. We have no idea what we're talking about because there is no
Until
no
then.
plan. Yeah. Until then.
All right.
Bye bye.
Cut. Damn. That was high.